guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna Sophia if you're new here, and if you are new, please consider subscribing. I just want to welcome you. I post home decor and DIY content every single week, and in today's video, we're going to be doing something really cute, really fun. We are going to be flipping these 4 kitchen home decor items that I found at my local thrift store, and what is awesome about this is that you should be able to find very similar items to this at your thrift store too. For the first flip, we are going to be making a beautiful fruit tray. I have a kitchen table that is longer than it is wide, and I really wanted something that was kind of rectangular in a way. And I saw this gold raised tray on Target, and it actually wasn't that expensive already, but I felt like I could definitely use some items that I had thrifted and recreate this item. After cleaning off the tray and just letting it dry and cleaning out the candles, I only needed 1 candle, and for the set it was only $3.99 for the candle holders, and then the tray was only $1.99. So basically what I'm going to do is just attach the 2 pieces together to make my raised tray. I don't know about you guys, but I really struggle with creating a strong bond of adhesive just using metal, which is why I'm bringing in a wine cork. So even though I'm going to be using E6000 and hot glue, I wanted something in addition to create a bond from the tray to the actual candlestick. The reason that I'm using both is hot glue has a true benefit that it works quickly, but it's not gonna hold up as much as you want it to over time. And E6000 is a great industrial strength glue, and it takes up to 72 hours to cure, which is the toughest part for me, but it really does work extremely well. I thought it would be easier to flip it upside down instead of the other way around, because then that way I would have a better idea of where the center actually was. So I just found the center by placing it in the middle of those 2 bumpers and used that as my guide. And now it's just time for some spray paint. I chose to use this one by Krylon in metallic gold because that's kind of the inspo that I saw on Target. So I wanted to replicate that as much as possible. And once that was all dry, the easiest part, it's just time to put my fruit in there. I chose to use peaches and clementines, and this is how it turned out. For the next flip, I really wanted to upcycle these canisters that I found from the thrift store. One was from Crate & Barrel, made in Portugal, great quality, but obviously it's been through some rough times. And the other one I also found from the thrift store for a very affordable price, but I wanted them to look like a set, like they matched, like I bought them together. So my game plan for this was I was going to use one for my spoons and my spatulas, and the other was going to be for my knives. So the first thing I needed to do was give them a kind of like same starting ground. So I just chose to prime them first with some just white primer spray paint. I'm primarily focusing the primer on the top 2/3 of each canister because that's where I'm adding the most texture. I've really been loving the look of like textured or aged pottery. I think that's so trendy right now. So what I'm doing is I'm taking about a cup of white acrylic paint and I'm mixing it with just a little bit of this like light brown acrylic paint. And I want to create this sort of like creamy textural situation. And to do that, you need to add a little bit of baking powder. So I'm just mixing that together using a foam brush, and that is actually what I'm going to use as my applicator as well. And I'm just applying it pretty evenly, but not so perfect. Like if I see some brush strokes, that's actually kind of what I wanted. So I'm just doing that over and over and over again. Total, I needed to do 3 coats to get the coverage that I wanted. And even still, I had to go in with this almond spray paint by Rust-Oleum just to give it a more complete look. And these are how our new kitchen canisters turned out. For the next flip, we are going to be making over this little napkin holder. I found it from the thrift store for $2.99. I think they sell something very similar to this at the dollar store as well, so if you can't find it at your thrift store, you can always find it there. One thing I didn't really care for about the napkin holder was that I could see through it. I wanted there to be kind of a barrier in a way, and I wanted to take inspiration from what it already was, which it reminded me of a rainbow, but I wanted to make it very neutral and very like Scandinavian inspired. So I went to the hardware store and I searched and searched, and this was the best scenario I could come up with. I actually don't even know what this is supposed to be used for. It reminds me of tubing that we use in the hospital. But basically what I'm doing is I'm just cutting it to size, and then I'm cutting a slit down the middle, and it's gonna sort of encase the arches that are already there. The reason I'm doing this is because I wanted all the arches to be the same width and length, and I wanted them to be easily glued on. As I mentioned before in the video, hot glue just doesn't really stick well to metal, but it does stick well to plastic, which is what this is made out of. So comment down below if you know what this is supposed to be used for. I'm actually really interested to know because I really don't. And it's okay if the tubing is a little bit longer than you intended. You can just simply trim off the excess like I did here. And you're just gonna repeat this process up until you get to the very bottom arch. And now that we've encased what's already there, we're just going to add the additional tubing to fill those gaps. And now it's just time to fill in those gaps. I just am cutting them down to size and then trying to kind of maneuver them so they're not so curled and easier to work with. And you'll see here in a minute what I'm talking about, but I'm basically putting hot glue on the inner side of the tubing that we created of the encasing, and then I'm going to try to put the tubing adjacent to it. However, it wasn't a problem on the actual arches, but at the bases it was creating this issue where it kept popping off because the tubing had been curled. So you'll see here in a second, I put some twine around it, but I realized that probably wasn't gonna be something that would be able to hold up over time. So I ended up just using some zip ties and it worked perfectly. And now that we're all secured down, it's just time for a coat of spray paint. I chose to use the same spray paint that I used for the canisters, just so it was nice and cohesive. And while that is drying, I needed to figure out what I was gonna put in the rest of the gap. And this is the only thing I could come up with. I have had this old beach bag, which was actually thrifted as well, so it's still part of the thrift flip. But I've had it for so long, it's definitely seen better days, and I really just wanted to take the rope from it and put it in there to give it more of like a boho Scandinavian vibe. So I'm just going to cut it at its seam and just pull it out of the top of the bag. And now it's just time to fill in the rest of those gaps. I just did so using my hot glue gun, and I'm just hot gluing the inner seam and then placing the cotton rope in that seam. And I just did so all the way down until there was no more gaps except the little archway down at the very bottom. And this is how our new and improved napkin holder turned out. For our last thrift flip, we are going to be upcycling this old paper towel holder. This paper towel holder only cost me $1.99, and then I'm just going to be using some contact paper to just spice it up a little bit. Contact paper in this case is actually a bigger task than you might realize because of the shape of what we're placing the contact paper on. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just tracing a circle around the shape of the base of this paper towel holder, and then I'm just applying the contact paper in sections. This isn't as easy as it was when I did the IKEA desk or the IKEA PS cabinet. I'll link that in the cards here if you haven't seen that video, but those were very square, flat surfaces. So I did end up having to use a couple different techniques to get everything fully covered and look really seamless. after I was able to wrap the top of the base around, I just needed to cut a very small amount to wrap around the sides of the base to make it look like it was actually like one wooden solid piece. And as you can see here, you can still see some of the edging, and I really didn't want to see that. So what I'm doing now is I'm just taking my blow dryer on a low setting, and I'm just pressing those little edges down using the end of a clothespin, but you can use any sort of flat surface that you have. That's not going to cut your contact paper, but that's going to really make everything stick well together. And this is how our new and improved paper towel holder turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed these kitchen thrift flips. I so enjoyed making them. They're definitely smaller scale items, but I think that they will go a long way and they'll stay with me for a very long time. If you liked this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I post home decor and DIY content every single week, and I hope I see you guys next week for another DIY video. Have a great week. Bye.